Hello, it's me again, Mr. Eric, and I'm gonna make another video, which means get ready for the hate mail. Seems like every time I make a video, if I make a video where I show a video of my chickens or my fig trees blossoming or whatever, people are like, oh, that's a pretty fig tree, or what a pretty chicken. But as soon as I speak from my heart about anything, it's same old, you know. If you don't love America, then you need to get out of this country and go somewhere else, and you know, some things never change. But anyways, I go on these rants. I'm not un-American. It's just that I think a lot of people perceive me as un-American because I'm not un-Mexican. You know, if you're going to live in this country, you have to hate Mexicans, and that's actually not being un-American. That's called being a racist. You know, I mean, I remember, you know, when I was a kid, as black people all lazy and they all taking our job. Vietnamese came over here. Vietnamese all lazy and they all taking our job. Now it's the Mexicans. Mexicans all lazy and they all taking our jobs. Well, you know what? Let me give you a shovel. Watch you dig a hole, and I bet I could pretty much figure out why you ain't got a job with a shovel. You know, I mean, if a man is willing to use a shovel to dig a hole, that's not really taking a job from you. But anyway, again, I know that because I feel like Superman when I got a shovel in my hand. I dig a hole about 2 or 3 holes a week, and whenever I run into somebody else digging a hole, it's like, man, you know, this guy should be on disability because you can't even dig a hole. But anyways, yeah, I'm not anti-anything. And as far as being a nonconformist, I've always imagined a nonconformist is somebody who analyzes the world around him, figures out what conforms, and then decides to do the opposite just so he can be an nonconformist. Me, you know what? Here's the thing. You hear this saying? People say, "I don't care what anybody thinks." That's bull. Everybody on earth wants to be loved, and part of being loved is you want everybody to think nice of you, and that's the way I am. I'm very concerned with what other people think. The issue I have is my integrity is stronger than that. So, you know, I'll do anything to fit in, but if it's over the line of what my integrity allows, I won't do it. And yes, Mr. Ladnier, Eric Ladnier, got some integrity. But anyways, here, I found this when my dad died. I was going through his stuff, and it's a letter to my dad from the USS Caloosahatchee. That's my ship, and on the back it says Department of the Navy, USS Caloosahatchee as a return address. And it's postmarked July 31st, 1984, USS Caloosahatchee. So that's 26 years ago. So this is probably the first documentation of Eric Ladnier rant in history. And just in general, just to explain what this is. This is like a newsletter, and it's got information in it like, well, I'll just read a few examples. April, let's see here. Ian C.S. Wilson and MM1 Stewart, Senior Chief Wilson was transferred to Portsmouth Naval Shipyard. MM1 Stewart elected civilian life and is now working for Manitou County, Florida as an air conditioning and refrigeration technician. A Division would like to welcome MMC Franks and MM2 Mitchell. And let's see, there was another one in here I want to read because it had Jorene's name on it. Okay, here we go. Our JP5 and DFM cargo transfer pumps, which are critical for underway replenishments, developed leaking seals which required immediate attention. Chief Franks, MM3 Butterfield, MM3 McDonough, FN Larson, and FN Morris met the challenge and within 24 hours had all 8 pumps repaired. True professionals in anyone's book. So, and it's basically, that's the way this is. There's only about 25 people mentioned in this letter on a ship of 400. I had no idea they ever wrote anything about me. But it's all MM3 this and BM2 that. But you get down to me, and the whole letter changes. I have no idea who wrote this. If you know, you could let me know. It may have been David Child, but I don't think he made any cruises with. Maybe he did. Yeah, I think David went on a cruise. This is probably something he wrote. Here we go. We're at Port Said, Egypt. And then to Anchorage at Port Said, Egypt, Mediterranean for a fuel lift and a hold on. Okay. Yeah, Anchorage at Port Said, Egypt to await transit of the Suez Canal. The canal transit was most interesting, as MM3 Ladnier pointed out. See, it says MM3 Ladnier, kind of like the rest of them, but then it says, It showed us all the destruction created by needless wars. Cool Eric's analogy of the two sides involved were most enlightening. Cool Eric. That was my nickname. Thank you for your wisdom, MM3 lad near. So anyways, I remember the incident because I really did flip out. I can't understand how you could look at something that's just so traumatic. And what we saw, they had just mined, the Suez Canal was filled with mines. I say filled with mines, I don't even know, but I know that they sank a few oil tankers in there, and we were on an oil tanker. And so they put us in the front because we were a 50-year-old ship, oil tanker, and I think we even had offloaded just enough to get us up so that we were at the, not totally offloaded, but we were at the level that we were just the same draft as a carrier. And the reason for that was they had a brand new or 10-year-old, 5-year-old carrier and 50-year-old oil tanker. They put us in there. If a ship got blown up, it would be us and not the carrier. So we're going through there, and they made all of us go topside in case we hit a mine. They didn't want anybody down lower levels to get killed. And so that's what we did. We sat topside all day, all night. We just sat topside till we got out of the Suez Canal. Well, anyway, we're just laid out up there talking, and somebody says, "Did you see that?" And I jumped up. I didn't see anything. And what'd you see? A tank, man. It was a blown up tank. And we were in Suez Canal, and I know there's some of y'all probably been through it because it's kind of I guess a lot of ships go through the Suez Canal. But it's just sand. Miles and miles and miles and miles of sand, both sides. And as a kid, I didn't understand that there's oil out there. That's why they killed each other. But about that time, we passed another tank, and that thing's sitting there with the turret. And you know, 100 men can't lift a turret on one of them tanks. It's just solid iron. And that tank was sitting with the turret crooked and the gun sitting pointed cockeyed. And I said, well, I can't say what I said because this is going to be YouTube and Facebook, but I was like, what? You got to be kidding me. Why would somebody come out in the middle of the desert to kill somebody else? What in the world? And as I'm talking, we're passing more blown up tanks. There's like all kinds. Every now and then you see buildings that are totally wiped out, and there's like some kind of a big old, looks like the Washington Monument had cannonball holes all over it. And I'm like, why would somebody feel the need to kill somebody else to get more sand? There's nothing else out here. What other resources, Really, why would you kill somebody for oil? Every country in the world has more than enough oil to feed their entire infrastructure, all their vehicles, their whatever fertilizer needs. The United States has way, 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 way more than enough oil to just use our own oil. But we don't have enough oil for everybody on Earth, including the kids, to have a 11 mile per gallon SUV, which is the lifestyle that Americans need. But anyway, I was just flipping out. I couldn't believe it. It's not something I can look at and it don't hurt my heart. And then if it hurts my heart, it's got to come out of my mouth. So, I'm not a nonconformist, not an anti-American. That was stupid. And I am anti-stupid. And the only reason I seem to be an anti-conformist is because when my heart hurts, my mouth moves and things come out of it. But this is 1984, 26-year-old rant. And I got a little bit of fame out of it in a newsletter to everybody's parents and wives, I guess. We got this kind of thing. Oh well, what can I say? If somehow this upsets you, bye bye. Love you. Wish you didn't defriend me, but that's okay.